Waking up can feel like facing the same heavy, invisible weight all over again, a feeling that's hard to name, but impossible to ignore. The alarm goes off, the day begins, yet everything feels mechanical, as if life is unfolding on autopilot. It can feel like being trapped in psychological quicksand. The harder the struggle, the deeper the sinking. If any of this sounds familiar, hear this clearly. No one is alone in it, and none of it is a personal failure. Feeling stuck is a universal human experience, but it is not a life sentence. For many people, it becomes a quiet, frustrating period where nothing seems to be happening. Anxiety rises because things should be different. Looking around at others who appear to be moving forward often triggers a harsh internal story, one about failure or being left behind. That story is a trap. The first step is to pull that trap apart. This begins with understanding the powerful, often invisible psychological forces that keep people in place. Then come 5 concrete, science-supported steps to break free and rebuild momentum. To get unstuck, it is essential to understand what is actually holding things down. And here's a critical truth. It is rarely about laziness or a lack of ambition. More often, it is about deep emotional roadblocks that operate beneath conscious awareness. It is like trying to drive a car with the emergency brake engaged. The engine roars, fuel burns, but very little progress happens. The goal is to identify what is pulling that brake. One of the biggest culprits is what many psychologists refer to conceptually as an emotional backlog. Life brings pain, disappointment, and sometimes trauma. When these emotions are not processed, they do not simply disappear. They can linger in thoughts, behaviors, and even physical responses, creating subconscious resistance to change. New projects or major decisions may stir up old wounds, so the brain tries to protect by keeping everything exactly as it is, uncomfortable, but familiar. Another major trap is fear of change and uncertainty. The human brain is wired to value predictability because predictability supports survival. Even an unfulfilling situation can feel safer than stepping into the unknown. The fear of choosing the wrong path becomes so intense that the default becomes choosing no path at all. Then there is the deceptive pull of perfectionism. Modern culture rewards flawless results, but perfectionism is progress's worst enemy. Many people delay starting a business, creative project, or new career because they are waiting to be fully prepared or capable of doing it perfectly. Perfection is a moving target, a finish line that shifts every time someone approaches it, and waiting for it guarantees paralysis. Another trap is the internal conflict between authentic desires and external expectations. Some individuals stay in careers chosen for them by family, relationships that look right, or lifestyles built to satisfy social perception. When life is guided by what is expected rather than what is true, a deep inner division forms. Feeling stuck becomes inevitable because it is impossible to follow 2 contradictory maps at the same time. Finally, there is the existential trap, the absence of meaning or purpose. Humans are purpose-driven beings. Without a clear why, motivation naturally declines. When values are unclear or forgotten, life feels directionless, and this lack of alignment often manifests as stagnation. Understanding these traps is the first step in disarming them. The next step is building a path forward, not through dramatic upheaval, but through consistent, evidence-based actions that create lasting momentum. Step 1. Cultivate radical self-awareness and acceptance. Change begins with an honest internal look. Nothing can be changed until it is acknowledged. Feeling stuck is not a failure. It is an emotion, and emotions lose power when validated rather than judged. Mindfulness is particularly effective here, observing thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations without being pulled into them. Journaling can help clarify what is truly happening beneath the surface by identifying recurring thoughts and limiting beliefs. Awareness is the key that unlocks the cage. Step 2. Take responsibility and break the blame cycle. When feeling trapped, it is easy to blame circumstances, people, or the past. While these factors undeniably shape life, the belief that one is powerless creates the true prison. Responsibility is not self-blame. It is reclaiming agency. Shifting from, "This is happening to me," to "What can be done next?" restores control. Forgiveness, of others and of oneself, is essential because carrying emotional resentment drains energy needed for progress. Releasing it lightens the path forward. Step 3. Engineer momentum with tiny, manageable changes. Attempting to overhaul an entire life at once almost always leads to burnout. Sustainable change comes from small, achievable steps. Breaking large goals into ultra-manageable actions, such as 5 minutes of writing or a short daily walk, creates quick wins. These small victories release dopamine, reinforcing the belief that change is possible. Over time, this builds a momentum loop where action fuels motivation. Step 4. Shift your physical state to influence your mental state. Mind and body function as one system. Physical stagnation often mirrors emotional stagnation, and movement can rapidly shift internal experience. A brisk walk, stretching, or even standing in a more open posture can elevate mood and clarity. While early research on power poses has been refined, consistent findings support the idea that posture and movement influence subjective emotion and confidence. Changing physical state is one of the fastest ways to change mental state. Step 5. Seek support and challenge your beliefs. Progress accelerates with support. Sharing goals with a trusted person builds accountability and reduces isolation. When feeling stuck is deep or tied to anxiety or depression, guidance from a licensed therapist provides structured tools, evidence-based techniques, and a safe environment to explore underlying patterns. Professional support can be a turning point in reclaiming direction. Feeling stuck is not a dead end. It is a signal, a message indicating that something in life is misaligned and ready to change. By understanding emotional traps and applying these 5 steps, self-awareness, responsibility, small actions, physical shifts, and supportive relationships, forward movement becomes possible. No one needs to fix everything at once. One small, imperfect step is enough to begin rebuilding momentum. Progress isn't measured by big, dramatic leaps. It's built through steady, consistent steps, even the smallest ones. Thank you for watching. If you found this message valuable, your support helps us reach a wider audience. Please consider liking this post and sharing it with anyone who might benefit. To ensure you don't miss future content on self-empowerment, subscribe to our channel. Our next video is available here.